This is another group of recent drawings that I've made. Slit drawings made by cutting slits into a sheet of paper and using it as a stencil, which often results in the paper kind of falling apart. But I managed to get some prints out of it. In this case, it's kind of a nature scene. It might be a little hard to make out the elements at first. There's a horse and some spirals and a baby and a fish and a person. But it's more like an overall kind of rhythm of images and fragments of images that you can follow with your eye. A face with smoke issuing from it. I like to kind of conflate the head or the body with the outlines of the canvas or the page. In this case, kind of distributing the features in such a way that the face isn't really contained anymore. It's just kind of in this field with these curls of smoke, and it's all kind of coalescing within this space surrounded by, I don't know, formless void. I don't do a lot of things in the landscape format, but this one is, and it has some of the hills that are characteristic of this area, and some mysterious goings on down here with a skull and a little figure and a spiral, all being watched over by some kind of a watching presence. Big hands, big spiral head. A lot of what I do is just trying to visualize physical experiences, trying to visualize the experience of being in the body and experiencing sensations. Crazy tree, roots down here, branches up here, watching presence is present. Yeah, down below we have the earth that you're drawing from, drawing your substance from, and then you're carrying it up against gravity, and it goes up into this reaching out into the sky. Yeah, the experience of the physical and the experience of nature. Very important. Oh, this is a better version of that first image. The forms are clearer. You can see that this shark has a human nose on it. I thought this was kind of like a storm or a flood striking a farm, and everybody's like, you know, in the waves. Now this one has a very attenuated, elongated figure inside this dove kind of form. It's something I've done before. Just kind of, putting together the human and an animal. There's some people who say they can project themselves into the form of a creature, like a crow or a coyote or something. And sometimes when I'm walking my dog, I try to think about what it's like, how he experiences the world through his eyes. What it's like to have your eyes 12 inches off the ground, and how he has all the smells, that are coming in too. So what is that experience, and can you, even just imaginatively partake of it? These are wee boats. Just putting the human into something, putting the human into anything, making the human be part of a ship. Are you the mast of your little boat, or are you the sail? Are you the anchor? They're very spontaneous and unplanned, and sometimes the sort of thematic or symbolic content that you might find in them is pretty simple and straightforward. What makes it interesting and what makes it noteworthy is just the sophistication with which it's handled. The visual ingenuity of it, the subtlety of the references, of all the art that I've seen, all the art that I've known, all the thousands of images that I've made, and it all goes in there, and then it can come out in a very simplified form, just a few elements, and have so much subtle connection to everything. And it's just always trying to keep it light, keep it spontaneous. keep the process light, not necessarily the content. I'm not trying to shy away from any area of experience or you know, only transmit positive messages. I want to transmit everything. But that in itself is positive. You know, you accept everything. Everything it has a place. Well, thanks once again for looking. I'll see you next time.